can't believe it's almost been 2 years since this Ghost Rider seasonal uniform came out. This thing is still so strong, so fun to play, and I really wish I could just keep playing with it, man. I mean, I can, obviously, but newer things are going to come out. Things are going to be better, etc. I'm still dragging my feet on turning him into like a PvP hybrid because I just enjoy playing with him, although, you know, I do have some stronger options. But I wanted to test, because some people were saying, oh, comp is actually really good with Ghost Rider. I wanted to test here on this stage. So we're going to be going through the energy that you're supposed to collect, the Aether. Ghost Rider's pretty bad at it. I'm not going to lie. His rotation and the timing and stuff really does not line up well. But we get to 46 bars in about 46 seconds, which is pretty cool. Nice little symmetry there. We're going to see basically, I don't know, how long it takes us to get to 30 bars, let's say. If he gets the buff, that's fine. Okay, we got stunned there, which is really unfortunate. If he gets the buff, it's fine. We can just power through it because we have immortality. But we'll see here. Okay, so he does end up getting the buff, which is kind of sad. That's fine. We're just going to power through it. We're good. This is part of the reason that Ghost Rider's sick. He can just ignore all this crap because he has immortality. And so, yeah. I mean, unless I take too much damage after the immortality. That's not going to happen, right? All right, so it seems like we're going to take about 95 seconds to trigger the next phase. Yeah, we'll call it 95 seconds here to trigger the 30-bar phase. Sorry, not 95 seconds. What am I saying? 3 minutes. And you guys, yeah, it's 95 seconds. Yeah, 325. Now, I know you guys have been hearing a lot of this lately, but we're going to swap him over to a mighty competition. Very cool. By the way, the build, just to recap here, 20 Odins with quite a few being engraved. We've got the overdrive. We've got the 6-star artifact. And then, yeah, we are rank 344. All right, let's take a look here. Crank into the oldies with my boy Ghost Rider. Probably shouldn't say that out loud. Okay. All right, 3, 2, and we go. Pop that. We're not going to collect the first Aether because we're in the middle of our tier 3. Yeah, his combos just last too long. Ghost Rider's combos just kind of last too long. He's in the 4th skill for too long, and we end up not being able to collect the Aether. That's fine. I don't really care. I didn't really need the Aether anyways. So I'm going to crank out a bunch of damage here. He does run away a little early, which is kind of annoying, but that's okay. All right, we get down here, okay, in about, yeah, seems very, very similar. This is what a lot of my testing, unfortunately, has revealed. If it's not against Black Swan specifically, it seems like there's not much of a difference between a Mighty Comp and a Mighty Rage. Maybe Brilliant is a different story, and that is what it is, but it's a bit disappointing, I would say, for the Mighty Enjoyers, because they don't really have much to look forward to. We're going to let him collect the Aether on purpose so that we can have the same testing here. Again, he's going to survive, so we're fine. And we're just going to see how long it takes us to get down to 30 bars. Okay. All right. Oh, no, I'm taking damage. It seems like I'm doing a little bit more damage. It's a little bit faster. He's going to cutscene me here halfway through the... Yeah. It does... You know what? This does seem like it's a little bit more damage. However, a little bit more damage is just not... It's like 5% more damage. I can sort of feel it a little bit. Like the bars move a little bit faster. But it's not like a huge, humongous upgrade. Now, to play devil's advocate, if you were also using Ghost Rider for the Universal Hero stages, if you hadn't invested yet in, let's say, Scarlet Witch, maybe the comp is going to add some more, an extra 500k million to your score, and then that's going to be an even bigger reason to switch him from a Rage, for example, or maybe even a Judgment, to something like a comp. On another note, since I've had so many bad testing experiences with the competition lately, I decided to pivot to a different game mode entirely. In this case, farming for Dimension Rifts with Rogue, who has been kind of the perennial farming god for me and for a lot of other players for like almost 2 years now. She's been the GOAT of it. And so we did 10 runs on that stage, that vision stage, with a Mighty Rage, rolled with the attack defense roll rather than an enrage roll. And then, which is, I think, this one here, that one there. And then we did another 10 runs with the competition. The competition averaged out to just under 30 seconds, just under 31 seconds a run. It was 30 seconds and change, whereas the Rage averaged out to 29 seconds and change. So the competition was actually almost 2 seconds slower per run per stage. Now, that seems like I'm nitpicking. You're like, oh, Alex, 2 seconds per stage, that's nothing. But consider the fact that on most days in Dimension Rift farming, you're going to be getting about 30 runs at a high level. If you're getting 30 runs at a high level, you're doing the stage 30 times. That means saving 1 second allows you to do 1 extra stage run, because that's 30 seconds. Saving 2 seconds theoretically allows you to do an extra 2 runs. An extra 2 runs per day is an extra 14 runs per week if you're only doing 1 rift. If you're doing 3 rifts, that's 6 extra runs per day, or 42 extra runs per week. That is a lot of runs. So I can't even give the competition the edge here for farming. I really am, like, personally, outside of Luna, and I have to test Storm, I'm struggling to see the value from my account for competitions. You know, obviously the fact that I have so many rages is the limiting factor, or sort of like the compensating factor. If I didn't have these rages, sure, I could instead go for competitions, and that's great, don't get me wrong. But the fact that having the rages means that competitions don't really have a lot of value outside of very niche characters, for, like, right now, Luna. Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would be a little better. And then obviously for very specific content like Black Swan, if you want to climb Black Swan specifically, then yeah, of course. But since Black Swan is now only World Boss Legend 7, it kind of is a weird situation to be in, because they've since released 1, 2, 3 World Boss Legends that are higher than her. So it's not even like the best for farming, you know? Like, if they made Black Swan drop Phoenix Feathers, or if they made her drop some sort of other material, then it would make more sense. But basically what I'm saying is, outside of using Luna in World Boss Legend, okay, outside of ABX, ABL for sure, for specific characters, Luna for World Boss Legend, and then Black Swan World Boss specifically, I don't see the competition really being that good. And Rage still, for me, Rage still maintains all of its value, and I'm not compelled to swap any characters over from Rages to matching competitions, at least besides Luna and probably Storm. But anyways, that's my testing so far. We'll do more testing as the days and weeks and months go on. Usually with CTPs, this is what happens is, you know, it's kind of the opinions of the community are up and down, good and bad, and then they sort of stabilize in a positive way. But the devs can do stealth buffs as well. They did stealth buffs and explicit buffs to the Rage when it got reforging, because it was really bad and people hated it and said it was garbage. With the enrage effects were really bad. They did stealth buffs to Liberation. They did stealth buffs to Conquest. So maybe competition is next. Who knows? You know what we really need buffs for? Shalabal and Emma Frost. Anyways, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching the video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.